look at me like that.
No. I want to know what you want to talk about.
I don't want to talk about anything.
All right, guys. We're going to talk about... Literally, this is after the game. And...
it's not before.
No, because I was excited before.
We had hope. We had hope. We had hope before.
We had London broil. We had chicken wings.
Ribeye.
We had chicken. We were excited.
Sausage. Hot dogs. Little meatball sub sandwiches.
So good. We had pulled pork. Hawaiian rolls. Guys.
Good people.
Life was great at 10:30, 11 o'clock, right? This game today was probably the most embarrassing game to me. Like, I get last week was a statement game. So I get it. It's a high-powered offense. We got this.
Yeah, Super Bowl
and we came up short.
Yeah,
we came up short. Today was a literally 0-2 team with an injured rookie quarterback and a very weak offensive line. And like I was telling him, I am so concerned about our offense that, like, can you fix it? Yes, you can. Highlight, defense is great. But the offensive play calling and the offense to itself is so... And it's gone down from the Colts. It's like, Colts here, okay, yeah, we barely beat them, but we beat them, right?
That was first game rust, you know, you play it off or whatever.
We give the excuse
a little clunkiness, you know, a little rust.
We give the excuse.
And then game two, it's, you know,
no touchdown.
Which sucked, and that was alarming. But then you're kind of like, okay,
and
Super
you
Bowl
text
champion.
me 6 quarters since we've scored a touchdown.
Right before we scored our first touchdown. Yeah.
So I'm a little concerned. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a lot concerned.
It's early, and so here's the thing. We talked about this. In 18, I don't think we had the players. You know, we had guys, we had some malcontents, we had some chemistry issues. I feel like in-house, on offense, we have good players that if they can, you know, get it together, which is tough because offensive line, it all starts with offensive line. Everybody sees the shiny toys and the, you know, the weapons. You know, people look at the sexy stuff, receivers and quarterback and tight end. But those big uglies, those are the ones that make it happen. And right now, the offensive line is not great. Now, in the first half, I texted you and Eric, and I said, O-line's not playing that bad. You know, that we've had some drops, but Trevor looks okay. I mean, there wasn't anything glaring that stood out that was like, yeah, this guy sucks, this guy sucks. I'm like, it's got to be the play calling, right? I mean, it's got to be I mean, it's just, you know, and that wasn't the only thing. I mean, we had miscues. We had the block kick, the miss kick, and that's not on the offensive coordinator. But, you know, when you're connecting dots, I'm always reluctant to bash coaches just because I'm like, you know, they
it's
know.
Just easy.
Yeah, it's easy for us as fans outside looking in to
bash
be like
someone that's
the coach or whatever. Because you don't know if guys are running the right play or whatever.
It's just easy.
But it does start to look kind of like, you know, we have weapons. But honestly, they're not all performing. We've got drops. We've got missed throws over the last couple games. You know, I thought Trevor looked good today. And another thing that's frustrating is you look at I just kept looking up on the board. And it was like, you know, we had more yards than them. Time of possession. We had more first downs. Third down killed us. We didn't
do well. Third down definitely killed us.
And that's been a trend. But we were putting up numbers, and then it was clunky. It was, you know.
Like, and we talked about this before. I'm going, you know, we do, which we know, everybody knows, we have a pretty high-powered offense. I mean, as in on paper, we have a pretty high-powered offense. And I'm going, you know, after the game, we all met back, tailgate. You know, I'm like, Ben, from what I know, how many times did we go 15 yards or deeper? It was like 3. I was like, that's what I know.
That I remembered.
Like, in a whole 60-minute game, you go 3.
And Zay Jones is a deep threat, and he wasn't here. So, I mean, that could be.
Evan, you got Calvin, you got, I mean.
Just plays downfield.
And we've done that more last year. Like, I feel like we're just the dink and dunk. Like, that's all I remember. I can count you more dink and dunk passes than over the middle or deep passes.
So in the Kansas City game, people were complaining. I know you were one of them about the screens and some of that stuff. But
he called 3 of them in a row.
But I think that was a substitute for.
He did call 3 in a row.
I know, but like we couldn't run the ball versus their line. But today, we were running the ball, and I love that we came out in the second half and committed to running the football. And that will help set up things, and it did. The offense started moving, and you get a little excited, and then they decided to not kick it in the back of the end zone, and they run it back on us, which was just stupid.
Which you said it best is and I don't, and this is week 3, and I don't want to say this at week 3, but Ben said it best. This offense doesn't have an identity. Mm-hmm. There's no identity. And before week 1, I called you, and I'm going, I don't see any holes in this offense. Like, this offense is great. I don't see any holes.
We talked about offensive line being a concern.
Well, yeah, but the play call, like you could adjust. Like you said, last podcast, going the Cincinnati Bengals made it to the Super Bowl on a shitty offensive line.
Yeah.
It's play calling to me. Like, and I don't know when homeboy took. I ain't gonna say his name because I don't like him, but he took over end of last year.
They announced it. I don't remember. I think it was Mia O'Brien said that he was calling plays in the second half last year. I heard her say that. And I don't know if it was the second half of games or second half of the season, but they officially announced that he was going to be taking over the play calling at the start of this year. And so, and again, I say it again. I'm never quick to be fire the coach guy
I wouldn't even fire him.
No. Well, they're not gonna fire him. But I'm saying, I'm always like, I always just assume there's more to it than what I see. That they know, to some degree. But then when you are trying to connect the dots, that's just the most direct dot. There's other dots you can connect. Guys dropping passes, guys doing this and that. But the most direct one is that we have another guy calling the plays, and plays aren't getting made.
Just like what I said last episode, Peterson said this, coaches, if they coach better, players play better. Yep. And I think that was a direct hit towards him. And it's not saying he needs to be fired as offensive coordinator at all. It's just like he doesn't need to call the plays.
Yeah.
Because even from week 1, we have complained about the play calling. We complained. Mm-hmm. And we barely beat a team that we should have beat. And we were like, oh, well, it's week 1, and, we're shaking this off, blah, blah, blah. All right, redemption game against Kansas City. Never showed up.
That you've had circled for the whole
Never showed up
season,
for 365 days or whatever.
Yeah.
Never even showed up. Yeah. Defense did.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, we lose that game. Then we're going, oh, well, this and that, and blah, 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 well, this. Now you're going to literally a cupcake team who is 0-2 with an injured rookie quarterback, and you made that rookie quarterback look like he was a fucking all-star.
Well, he's played well. He's played well all year.
But he played great.
Well, he didn't get touched. So the two things that going into the year that I'm the eternal optimist. There was a lot of stuff to be excited about, but the two things that I was worried about were offensive line and pass rush. And, while our defense has played well, the pass rush has been non-existent except for week 1. And then, you have a rookie quarterback who is banged up with a banged up offensive line, and you don't sniff him. And and that's what's frustrating. And even if the defense has played decent today, I don't even know what the final stats were. They were holding him in check, but you got to force. That's how you force turnovers. Get the rookie quarterback uncomfortable. Help the offense out. And it was. You said and you called it when you said that you predicted that if we lost to Kansas or we beat Kansas City, we would lose to the Texans. But because we always
bounce back.
Because we always lose to them. They kind of had our number, and we beat them last year when basically their season was over. And it was just frustrating because this was, a get-right game, or it should have been, and one team came fired up, and, the other team is still just kind of mired in this, funk. And here's the positive. the defense has played decent all year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say that.
And we have weapons on offense.
Mm-hmm.
My concern was that we don't get to utilize those weapons because the offense and Trevor, even though he looked decent today, he played well. It's always hard in games. You get an impression and then sometimes you go back and you watch the game and you feel a different way. But to me, Trevor looked good outside of outside of the scoreboard, not being able to put up the points. But I just feel like that offensive line, And in the first half, I thought they played well. But in the second half, when Trevor threw that interception, around that period of time, you could see that he was getting pressured more. Like they were really coming at him. And we were run blocking decent, but...
And y'all know, like, I'm not a football genius whatsoever.
We know.
Whatsoever.
Continue, sorry.
Anyways. Offense, to me, is easier to right the ship than it is defense. Like defense is a set in stone defense unless you have the players to move.
Yeah.
Offense is a play calling like this. I'm gonna do this. It's kind of easier to kind of fix to me, and I feel like it's a like ESPN said against the next morning against Kansas City. They were like, hey, if the end zone was 6 inches deeper, they would have scored 21 points, and they would have won the game. Our defense is good, and I'm happy about that. That's what I want, because it was so terrible. That is hard to fix unless you're bringing somebody else in. Offense is going. You're good,
which we didn't do, by the way, on defense. We decided to stay.
But we're good.
No, we're
good
with no pass rush.
But we're still there. We're still like you take like what I said last year. You take that same defense with this offense, you're further in
what
the
we
thing.
thought was going to happen was that the offense would carry the load, and the offense was going to be a top
offense
5
digressed.
offense. And we just needed the defense to, and the defense has been that, offense has digressed.
And what's that called? What is that? I'm telling you.
And what's changed? Like that's what you're saying. Yeah, and
offensive play calling.
You have to think that, and then but
it's offensive play calling.
And we said the players. Where I still have confidence. It's early. We're all ready.
We're game 3.
Yeah, exactly. It's game 3,
and we've went from here with the Colts going, and we should have beat them handily. But I'm on my knee on the back of my couch praying for a touchdown, but the offense is here, and then we go to the Kansas City, and it's like zero offense, and it was, to me, this offense today was worse against Kansas City. To me, it was non-existent. It went backwards. It was terrible. It was. Well, I didn't even know what team I saw.
I mean, we scored touchdowns. I mean, I don't think it was worse against Kansas City.
Texans.
Yeah.
We're talking about playing KC, who has a very top 3 defense, and we didn't. I mean,
are they top 3?
Yeah, they're top 3.
I mean, they play good versus us.
But you're going against the Texans, who are absolutely terrible on defense. The worst offensive line with a hurt rookie quarterback, and you make him look like he's like it was. I just sounded French right there. I said oui. It was. I was very embarrassed today on how we played them, and we lost. What was the score? 37-17. 37.
Which is like the score that a lot of people were picking the other way.
To be the roles reversed.
And honestly, it's NFL team. A divisional game. It's usually not going to be a cakewalk, and I think I'm always going to be the optimist.
You actually called that. You called that the other night.
Yeah, but I still picked us winning, and I picked us winning handily. And it's just we're in this funk. And again, the positive is that I think we have good pieces in house.
It's
to
fixable.
Fix because
it's fixable.
Whether press is an issue or not. I do have trust in Peterson.
I do have
and
trust
I like our guys. I think that they have good character. They're good players. I mean, they're not just a bunch of good
2018
guys.
wasn't fixable.
Exactly, because we had some good players, but they were.
And it's like this ego thing, and you talked about that before.
Yep.
We don't have that here.
Yep.
We don't have that, and I know we will right the ship.
It feels like I feel like we can, and and that's why I'm optimistic. But I also, I think that, I mean, man, I think we just don't handle prosperity well. It's like, we come in and with all the, the talk about us being this and that, and like I guess we got to get smacked in the mouth.
The Jaguar PTSD or something.
I mean, I got that Jags PTSD.
You said that the other year, guys.
I had a text from just a second ago from one of my boys, and he was like, what did he say? Just got fooled by the hype again.
I just think, and obviously, I'm not the owner or the coach. We know this. But I would take the reins off. I wouldn't fire him, but I would take the reins off of the offense coordinator playing calling. Like, what's Dallas coach? What'd he do? What's his name? He played for. He coached for Green Bay. I know his name.
Yeah. What about him? What did he do?
Now. He got rid of the offense coordinator, and he's like, I'm playing. I'm made, and Dallas is playing unbelievably great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just Doug, you're offensive genius. That's what you are.
Press is his boy, and he doesn't want to be.
Give him limited. Say, hey, I'm gonna give you 40%.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Well, and Doug's always had final say, and like Press said, we go over the plays together, and I think that Doug's gonna look out for his
25 seconds to call play.
Yeah. There's not
a lot of time for like
consternation or whatever, but I'm saying, like, I think that we're kind of at that point that if it truly is, I mean, they would know better than us. Doug would know better than us if it is play calling or if it's just guys not making plays. I definitely think it has a part to it. Look, I mean, it has a.
I would put money on there's going to be a just like I said, and I've been wrong a lot. Okay, we know, and him going coaches, it's coach better, players play better.
I'm still waiting for you to compare them to the Gators somehow. Like, I don't know. You usually
look. The Gators' offense looked like the Jaguars' offense. Yeah. And we played Charlotte, and we put 20 points 22. On it. Terrible.
Good catch by what's his name though? Pearson. That was ridiculous. Maybe one of the best catches I've ever seen.
Best catches I've ever seen. Like the backhanded.
Moving right along.
And he got level. No, we're going to talk about it for a minute. Like
the Jaguars and all things do well, not Gainesville.
Anyways.
All right, so
Duval's kind of connected to. No, it's not.
Not really.
Anyways, I even lost what I was talking about.
That was by design.
So that was a good design.
Yeah, but yeah. So I think, again, ultimately, I think that pass rush concerns me. I think offensive line has been a concern. Those are the two things that have been something that I was worried about all year long. I think that we do have players in house. I think we have the coaches in house the coach in house.
But no animosity in our house. Like, there's no egos. There's no nothing.
Not yet, but even good guys, at some point, maybe kind of there starts. I don't think it'll ever bubble over too much, but I do want, at some point, I feel like we have the guys on the team that when there's adversity, instead of moving apart, they're going to get closer. But I think that one thing that I wonder about, and just kind of throwing darts, but if Ridley has been disruptive, and it's not a knock on him, it's not a knock on anybody per se, but it's just kind of a natural thing that maybe happened, that you bring this new guy into an offense that was clicking at the end of the year, and the obvious thing that you think is to be like, oh, we're great, we're real good, now we had this, so we're going to be even better. But I think that even that, maybe there's time that's going to take time to gel, but there's just a lot of stuff that's happened that we were seeing in training camp and preseason. We were seeing Ridley with just a crazy route running and running wide open. We were seeing Tank Bigsby catching the ball. We were seeing all these things happen that haven't happened. So maybe it's just a part of that. This is everybody wants to
transition to where you just
they got to gel. They got to find it. And this isn't a video game. You have a bunch of guys that are with high Madden rankings. You put them all on a team, you're probably going to win. But this is real life, and you have you're dealing with human beings that have human error mixed in. No matter how good they are, they're not going to be perfect. And so it's just a matter of working it out. And I feel like my gut is that we will, to some degree. But that's another.
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like, because like I said, offense is easy to adjust to get right. Our defense, which is played great.
Good.
Well, I mean, good enough to win a game. Win enough. Like, if your defense is terrible, it's hard to fix that.
You're very generous. You always kind of embellish. Like,
I think the defense is good enough to where.
What's his name? What's this year? He was gonna get.
He got hurt. That's fucked up.
He wasn't gonna get 10 sacks, bro.
He was definitely at 10 sacks. He had 2 in 3 games.
Okay.
Ventrell.
Shout out Ventrell.
I love you. I believe in you.
I do too.
This guy is a dickhead. I thought you would get 10 sacks this year.
Well, I guess I was right. He's not going to.
Oh my God. He's not getting a Christmas card from you. I know that right now. That's messed up.
I'm a Ventrell Miller fan. I like Ventrell Miller. I would buy his jersey, but I never. You're a giver.
He had 2 sacks in 2 preseason games.
You're generous.
2.
Yeah.
I would say.
We also went
3-0
in the preseason.
But I would say he had 10. I would say he had 10 sacks. Easy,
bro.
Ventrell, it's coming next year.
Let's go.
10 sacks, baby.
More power to you, bro.
I love it.
But so anyway,
he won't watch this, but hey, Ventrell.
We Ventrell, like and subscribe. Yeah. Spot on Jaguars.
You do. Your tendons grow stronger.
What?
That's kind of fucked up.
Your what?
Tendons grow stronger.
It heals faster when you like and subscribe.
You'll be back by playoffs, baby.
It's not proven yet, but it's
it's science.
Yeah, it is science.
It's kind of like when you wash your truck and you drive, it rides better.
That's facts, though. That's actually the truth.
Yeah,
but anyway, so I don't know. Let's maybe wrap it up. So again, miscues, clunky. Is it play calling? Just a lot of stuff to be frustrated about. Guys dropping balls. Our guys still pressing, which is what they were doing in the Kansas City game. But, in summation, I feel like we have people in house. Just hang on. Summation. I'll let you go.
Summation.
You don't even know what that means.
No, I'm actually lost.
Yeah, I know.
I wasn't very impressed.
By design.
Keep going. I'm
going to. Yep. So we have guys in house that I think it can be fixed. Will it be fixed too late? And by the way, when we were doing our picks, I picked us winning 11 games this year. I was like 10, 11 wins. And people were like, well, you're crazy.
I said 10, 11 wins.
Yeah, I know. But some people were like, oh, we're winning 13 games or whatever. I'm like, again.
No, what you're saying is solid. I mean, like, it's solid what you're saying. Like, I believe you. Like, going, that makes sense.
Yeah, and so, we have pieces. We got to get it fixed. I'm still concerned. Is offensive line going to be an issue all year? Where's the help coming from? We still don't have a pass rush, even though our defense is playing well.
That's your main concern.
It's always been my main concern. Yeah. And, in a game like today, again,
we need
beat up offensive line, rookie quarterback, you can create turnovers, make him uncomfortable, And then, and then is it all Press's fault? I'm inclined to think it's not, but it's, to me at this point after 3 games, if he is, if he really has the reins, regardless of if Doug has, overrule, ability or whatever, it's definitely something that you have to point out.
It's hard for me not to take that weight off of him.
Yeah.
Because I watched the game, and I felt like my defense was on the field more than my offense. I felt like my offense was just very sporadic and
numbers, though. We weren't converting on third down,
which is a big problem.
I agree. I agree.
The play calling, to me, I'm going, wasn't it called? Like, if it was one game, if this is the one game that we played like this, I'm going, it's not. What's the play? Look, this is the 3rd game. To where our offense is not where we think or the fans think it should be. Like, we played like against the Colts, it's kind of like, but we kind of did a little something. Okay. KC, 0 touchdowns. And then this game, we were non-existent till the second half?
Yeah,
it was embarrassing. We were 2 of 13, maybe. I don't know the number of third down conversions.
Comedy of errors.
Like, it was so embarrassing.
It was
to me.
Yeah, there was. Today was just one of those games that you can't just say it was, because it wasn't just offense. It was special teams.
Because I'm gonna go what you said. There was 0 rush on their quarterback,
and special
with
teams
a hurt ankle and you can't rush him, you can't blitz him and contain him. I'm so stuck on offense right now because it doesn't even matter to the defense to me because we were such a high-powered offense at the beginning of the season. I'm thinking we're going to outscore enough to sustain a win. But if I take out the offense and I look at our defense, there was no rush. Did we contain the rush a little bit? But there was no, like, you have a rookie quarterback in by the way, the number one most intimidating chant in the NFL is Duval. Look it up. Did you see that?
It's clearly the best, but no. What
anyway,
is it?
Duval.
No, what
is
it?
The number one,
Somebody
the
voted.
most intimidating
Where'd
chant.
you see that?
CBS.
Oh, nice.
No, the most intimidating chant.
I like it.
Yeah. So, anyways, for them to come in and we don't even get to him, like with a hurt ankle who is questionable, and we don't get to him enough.
And you know what? One more thing. Just speaking of Duval, one more thing that I was wrong about early on is I really thought that
wait,
we would. I was It's not 100% yet because it's early in the season. Your phone's right there.
I know.
Okay. So
I wonder.
One thing that I was maybe not 100% right about was I really thought that we would come in and establish the home field advantage, and I don't think it's on the fans because I mean it was a good crowd today, and despite people saying things about Kansas City, there was a decent amount of Kansas City fans. But I looked around and they were on the visitor side and they showed up. They're the defending Super Bowl champion, but we showed out fine. But we're 0-2 now. And that's disappointing because I thought that was going to carry over from last year. And, when were we at our best last year?
1-2.
When I'm saying at home.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying at home.
Yeah, that's shocking.
But when were we at our best last year?
At home.
No, last year we were at our best when our backs were to the wall. We were coming back. The games.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Really, the only time last year.
We were 3-7 when we turned it around.
When we turned it around, so that was back to the wall. And then and then backs to the wall to the Ravens, the Raiders before that, the Cowboys. And then
I love that Cowboys game.
That was a great game.
It was a great game.
But so the only games that we played when we, were kind of out in front, in charge of our own destiny or whatever. We played the Texans and they were toast. They were already done for the year and we beat them pretty good. The Jets, we played the Jets like on Christmas or Christmas Eve or whatever around then. And that was when we were kind of in the driver's seat at that point. Those were right but the whole year was basically playing with our backs to the wall once we got in that hole. So this year we come in and we're out in front with expectations. And maybe we just have to get smacked in the mouth. And maybe
this was a smack in the mouth to me.
The last two have been smacks in the mouth of, hey, listen, it's.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying.
This is more of a smack in the mouth.
Yeah. Well,
because it's KC, and it's like, oh damn.
KC was super frustrating.
That was such a smack in the mouth.
KC on paper looks like it should be a close game and maybe an L. This game on paper looks like you got a beat up Texans team, who's not as talented as they're rebuilding.
What was the score again?
At our house, 31-17.
30. They scored over 30.
Yeah.
There's a smack in the mouth.
Yeah.
And then now you're going to London, which is honestly 2 home games.
Yeah, should
be 2 home games against a Buffalo team which was supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. Who was kind of up and down. You don't know what you're going to get. And then to Atlanta team who's playing phenomenal.
Yep.
That is 2 tough games. That is a chance to go 1-4.
Yeah.
Or 3-2 or 4-2.
We're playing in a stadium that's going to have some good fans, and it is scary. But hey, back to the wall now. And so we'll see.
I like that mentality.
If we respond,
and you're absolutely right. We respond with the back to the wall, and I think that it's an offense. I think it's an offensive problem more than defense. What would you say? Is it more offense or defense?
Yeah, clearly offense. But the only thing with the defense that concerns me is just the fact that we still. But
if the offense is rolling.
Right, we're doing the defense is enough to win games if the offense is carrying the load like we thought they were going to.
That's what this is designed to do, right?
But that's what we thought. But my issue even with that is when you get into the playoffs and stuff, there come times when you need to get that crucial sack, get that crucial stop, and we still don't have that. So that's always been something that I thought was going to at some point rear its head.
We did have that game one. I don't know if that went, but I guess the Colts' offensive line was that terrible.
Yeah. I mean the Colts.
Because we had five sacks.
Yeah, and what's his name went off? Josh Allen.
Which we know he was injured today.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not.
Trayvon.
I don't. Does he play?
He does.
Trayvon, where you at, bub? Number 1 pick, where you at? Because I didn't see him at all today. I'm so upset right now.
I am too.
I'm so upset.
We're gonna end this. Who needs Eric? We just went 30 minutes.
I was gonna say Eric, where you at? Oh wait, he didn't show up for the second game.
Yeah, we were shocked.
What did he say?
You know, I'll be there.
Oh, you were shocked?
Yeah. He didn't respond to my text either. Hope he's okay.
Well, I actually texted him going, I ain't coming.
Yeah, we knew Eric.
We love him.
We love him. He's a fan, but he's reclusive, and he's just. But it was kind of refreshing. We didn't get interrupted 27 times, but we were just able to just kind of go. Yeah, pause.
Yeah, Eric, we love you, and we're gonna talk shit.
Yeah. So if you don't show up, it's kind of a rule. It's kind of like the first person going to sleep at a slumber party.
So,
you're getting written on.
But be at my house Monday, which is tomorrow. So we can do our show.
Yeah.
But we're gonna sign off and
hold each other.
We're gonna cuddle. And, we might film it on OnlyFans. I'm just kidding. Anyways, I'm concerned about this year. I'm concerned, but the good news is it's writable. It's like the iceberg's here, but we can move it. Like we're not the Titanic, because we can actually move it away. Like there's a chance.
Would you move the iceberg or the ship?
Actually, I would just say, you know what? F it. I'm gonna go right through it after today's game because I want to sink and just drown. But no, we're just
gonna get on the SS Ventrell and sack it 10 times. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah.
Ventrell, do you hear this motherfucker talking shit?
I love you, Ventrell. I do.
No, you don't.
I'm a fan. You're just ridiculous.
Ventrell.
Bro, we're signing off.
Ventrell, you're gonna be the man, and he won't play this. He won't put this in there.
No, I'm going to.
But he hates you.
I'm going to. That's
and you had 2 sacks in 2 games. You're a 10-sack guy.
You'll see me in a Ventrell jersey next year.
I love you.
You'll see me in a Ventrell jersey next year.
I love you. You're my boy. You're gonna come back. I love it. Peace out.
Go Jags.